Hello, Professor and everyone. We are Blueteam. Our project is about the basics for encryption and decryption. We have four parts, and Catherine will go first.
For the encryption algorithm, we will be accessing the IOStream and string libraries. We will also be accessing the 111.h code, which will contain the encryption information. The function int_encrypt within the 111.h code will take in a character and return an integer value. Each character is assigned a 6-digit numerical value. In the case of character A, the 6-digit value is 933029. In the case of character B, the 6-digit value is 157348. And for the character C, the value is 206232, and so on. The function string_encrypt message will take in string S and returns the numerical values of all the characters within string S. So for example, if string S is hello Jennifer Lopez, then the encrypt message string will return all the numerical values for HELLOJENNIFERLOPEZ. Spaces will not be included as they do not have a numerical value within int_encrypt. Within the string_encrypt message function, int size is assigned the value of the size of string S. String str is assigned nothing by default, as it is the base condition. So if the size of string S is less than 1, meaning if string S is empty of any characters to encrypt, when the encrypt message string returns string str, it will contain nothing. Else, meaning if the size of string S is not less than 1, then the encrypt message string will return the numerical value of the first character within string S. But the numerical value will no longer be an integer, it will be converted into a string. Using the example of string S being hello Jennifer Lopez, the first character H string will be 676981. Recursion will be utilized if string S contains more than one character. So after the first numerical integer is converted into a string, and if string S has a succeeding integer, then the next integer will be put into encrypt message. The next integer is input by using substring. So the second index of string S is 1, which will become the first variable to be inputted into s.subset. The second will be the remaining length of string S, written as s.length. So after the first integer value of H is converted into a string, then the integer value of E will be converted next. E would be the new first integer indexed as 0, and the succeeding integer of L will be the new second integer indexed as 1. Through this recursion, encrypt message will be called upon until there are no more remaining integers. This will go on until the last value of Z. Since there are no more variables after Z, the recursion will end. Thus, all the integers will be converted into.
Thank you, Catherine. Hello, Professor and everyone. My name is Uy. I talk about the decryption algorithms. We have two functions in this decryption algorithms. The first function you see on the right hand side named is decrypt. This function will receive an integer parameter and return a character. In particular, this function will receive 6 digits of integer and return a letter, a character. For example, when we put an integer of 15738, the decrypt function will return letter B. And when we put the integer up to 06232, the function will return a letter C, and so on. The second function is the decryption matrix. This function will receive a string and return a string. I mean, the function will receive an encrypted string and will return a decrypted string. and how the function do. At first, we get the length of the encrypted string, and we declare an empty string. This function is a recursion function, so we need a base conditions. And the base condition in this situation is the length of the encrypted string uh, equals 0 or is empty. And when the encrypted string is empty, the function will return an empty string. In the other case, it means the encrypted string is not empty. The function will begin decrypt the first 6 elements of the encrypted string. So here we use the substring function. This function is in the string library, which we include in the beginning of the code. This substring function have two parameters. The first parameter is the position, the start positions, and the second parameter is the numbers of elements which we want to get out. So here we get the first 6 elements of the encrypted string and put into the decrypt function. But before we put into the decrypt function, we have to convert the 6 element of string to the integer, and we use the function of stoi. It means s to integer function. This function is the IOStream library, and we convert all the 6 elements to the 6-digit integer, and we put into the decrypt function. And the decrypt function will return a character, and we put the character into the string. Then we return the first character and the remain of the encrypted string. I mean the rest of the rest part of the string, and we use the substring function again here. So we get the remain of the string by the function substring from the index of 6. It means the 7th element to the end of the string, and we put the remain of the encrypted string into the decrypt message. It means the using a recursion of this function, and the process will repeat again and again until the string become empty, and it is the end of the string. Thank you for listening, and next is Hivu.
In our main function, we started off by declaring the string user input, encode, and decode. The user input is to store what the user enter when they enter a message. We initialize encode and decode a blank space just in case it may cause any problem in our code when we compile it. Also, encode is what we store when we make an encryption of the code, and decode is basically the original message, but it's a decryption of an encryption. We put cout enter message to tell the user to enter a string or a message so we can encrypt it. We chose get line cin user input to take in the user input. The reason why we use getLine is because just in case the user enter like a paragraph or a sentence. This right here, we put original message to tell the user what they entered. It's basically displaying what the user input is. For encryption, we put after encrypt, basically telling the user that what the encryption is. We put encode equal encrypt message user input. This is basically what we talked about previously for encrypt. This method is going to take the user input and encrypt it, and basically translating the user input into a like a string of numbers, and we're going to display it. After that, we have decryption. It says right here that we have after decrypt to let the user know that this is the decryption of the code. This right here we have decode equals decrypt message in code. Notice how we're not putting user input here. That's because we are trying to decrypt the encryption, the numbers string. That's why we put encode here, and we're going to display the decode what the original message is basically, and we put return 0. This is basically a standard practice in programming. So this is our program. We have the code that we went over, and also 1111.h. This is our key code. We use this to translate letters into string of numbers. I will demonstrate the code now. So this is our program. We have enter a message to tell the user to enter a message. You can pretty much enter anything that you want. I'm going to enter hello Jennifer Lopez and period. The program will display the original message, which is which is hello Jennifer Lopez, and the program will take this string and translate it to strings of numbers. The program uses the 1111.h to translate the letters into numbers right here, as you can see. And after that, the program will take the string of numbers and translate it to English. And that's the original message that I entered. And here we have decrypt. This will take the numbers and translate it to letters back into English letters, so the user can understand.
Alright, you guys. So follow Vu. I'm Ting Hưng, and I'm talking about the limitation and what we learned from this project. So for our project here, we have several limitations, but here are 3 main key points, so we need to point it out. Firstly, like as you see here, the 111.s file, this cannot include all the case visible to be. So that means that we need to constantly update the case. So by running the program, so if any issue with the customer or the user, we need to constantly upgrade it. And that's why you need to upgrade for like special character or like a character in not alphabet from another country like Vietnam, Germany, China. Yeah, that is the first one. And the second one is like because the length of the message is limited by the string data type. So if we have some word or some message longer than the data type can cover, so we need to upgrade the code later on to make it function. And finally, the the most important thing is like the 1111.h file here contain all the key. So which means that anybody can access to that one, can have all the information to decrypt the message. So that means if the 111.h file hacker something can access to that, so we will be screwed. And after this project, we have learned a lot of things. So by doing this project as a team, we had a good foundation about information encryption and decryption. And this helped us know that's how information encryption is the most important thing in the real world right now. So that's the only way to help us, help other people, and secure their data. So prevent any identity theft or like data theft in the future. Secondly, working at a proof. For this project, we work at a proof. So we do everything, work in a proof to plan the code, start to build the code, and then test the basic code for the encryption. And I think that is a good start for us. And third, last but not least, so this is a good start. Maybe as our team, we can make some update version later on, like some good version. We can cover a lot of case, and maybe we can start another project later on. Thank you so much for letting us to have the chance to start the project and present with you guys today. Thank you so much.